Good morning, everybody. Welcome to March Vlogs. It is the 1st of March. It is a month of vlogs. So it is currently just before 9:30 in the morning. I'm going to do the live this morning for the Blanket Club. I think I've set that for 9:45. I'll be honest, I didn't even remember to set it till this morning. Haven't even introduced myself. My name is Alex. I live in Yorkshire in the UK and this is our month of vlogs. So we've got quite a busy day today. We have, first of all, I've got my live to do on YouTube for the Blanket Club, which is the reveal of the colour for month 3. We've also got a shop update tonight. And we are vlogging as well, so there is a lot going on today. I'm going to try really hard. I like to keep the vlogs around the 20-minute mark. So I'm going to try really hard to keep the vlog around the 20-minute mark. The problem is the first vlog is usually so long because I've missed you all and I just can't stop chatting. But I will try and keep it around the 20-minute mark. First of all, let me just pause you while I grab something. So, first things first, I did not finish my Secret Grove cross stitch. It is here. And as you can see, it is still not finished. My inexperience has done this. I was well on track to finish at the end of February. But once I got to this green section, oh my word, was it so much harder. So much harder. The problem that I've got is the confetti is a lot more than what I've had up here. There was a lot of confetti in this, but you still got areas of blocky stitching. Confetti takes so much longer. This green is just confetti. There's no block stitching, it's just confetti all the way through. So I got such a shock when I got to this bit. It takes a lot longer and there was no way I could still get the same number of stitches in per day as what I was getting. Absolutely no way. So it slowed right down. I did take a few days off it. I just needed a break and I went and worked on my Secret Grove and I got that clue done. Then I came back to it and it's just the amount of confetti means you're concentrating so much that I can't work on it as long. So I am literally just doing a few hundred stitches a day at this point. So hopefully it will be finished at the end of March and we'll finish it during vlogs. But this is where it's at now. So there's a whole grass section that goes right over here and a whole grass section that goes right over here. I'm just trying at the moment to finish this. There's a lot of green in this area as well. So there is still quite a bit to go. So that is confession number 1. Hopefully it'll be finished in March. I'll just pop it on there, darling. I was talking to Danny. If you didn't know then, Danny's just sat here.
Hello everyone.
And he was holding the other cross stitch. So then I've been thinking about something for quite some time. I watch Adelaide from Adelaide Stitches and she is stitching, oh I think she's finished it now actually. She was stitching the Black Pearl by the Witchy Stitcher and I've seen it on a number of podcasts. Always really admired it. Sorry, I'm just keeping an eye on the time for that live. Always really admired it and I just really wanted to stitch it. So plus it's perfect for Danny. Danny loves anything like this. I'll pop a picture on the screen of what it looks like. So Adelaide did hers by coffee tea dyeing some Ada. And it was just so effective. You know how you used to tea stain things on paper when you were younger? It had, yeah, like treasure maps. It had that effect. You don't stain the Ada that way. And I just thought, I really want to give it a go. So I did. And I coffee tea dyed my own Ada. I was so impressed with myself. So this is how it turned out. Isn't it amazing? I absolutely love it. So I've got this far. So this is for Danny. It's a relatively small cross stitch. It's like 5,500 stitches or something. So it's just giving me something to do when I really don't want to work on the other one, or I'm just all confettied out. So I've still got some stitching I can do. And yeah, I'm really impressed with it. Really impressed with it. So confessions. That is that. My flag blanket is on the way. I'm hoping to finish that in the next sort of 2 weeks. It's a lot more involved than I thought it would be. I've got all the squares. If I can just turn you in there, can you see? Oh, you might have noticed we've moved everything round as well. I'll talk about that in a bit. So, there is so many squares to do. I've got a little bit joined, but not much. That's actually the top quadrant. So I've got a little bit joined, but not much. The actual squares, there are these triangle squares which you join together to create a square like this. And there's blue and white and red and white. How you actually do it, I know I saved it, is stitching 2 triangles. I haven't saved it. No, I haven't saved it. Stitching, crocheting 2 triangles and then sewing them together. And I did do one, but I haven't saved it. I thought I'd saved it because I wanted to show you. It was so messy. It really was. You could see all the stitching from where you joined it, and it really didn't look nice. And when I looked at the picture, you could see it in the picture. Let me see if I can show you in the picture. I bet you're not going to be able to see on here. I'll bring that in really close. You're not going to be able to see because you can sort of see on the red. You could see all the stitches, and I really didn't like it. So I did spend some time working out how to do my granny squares half and half. So that is crocheted as one granny square. And you're just changing colour at the halfway point. I'm not carrying the blue through the white or anything because I don't like that either. And it turned out so much neater. So I had quite a few of these to make. And these are just the blue ones, and that the red was a lot more, but they're just the blue ones. So I've been making those all week as well. So I'm hoping to finish the flag blanket during the vlogs because I thought that'd be really interesting. And I may stitch a few pieces on and then stitch the rest of it all in, crochet all in one go. I'm not sure how I'm going to put it together yet, whether I'm going to do a bit and then crochet more squares or just do all the crochet joins at the end. I don't know. I'll see. But it's on the way. So that is you caught up on my projects, more or less. So I'm going to go now, do this live that I need to do. And then we need to nip out this morning. We need to go to the supermarket. So we're going to go do that. And then I'll come back and have a little bit of a chat. And we'll go from there. Right, I'm just looking at the flag blanket. So this is the top quadrant. These are all the squares I've done. All the ends are woven in those ones, not this one. But I've got the magazine just out of shot of the camera so that I can have a look at it. So this, I need one of these. Hang on a minute. Here, like that. And then I want a white one. And then I want that one. And hang on a minute. The blue one, the white one, that, then that. Try and get the camera looking. And then a white and blue like that. And then I need another white one here. So how I've been doing it is joining all these this way first and then joining this way. And what I discovered was on the back, normally I would join with a slip stitch, but I didn't. I joined with a single crochet or double crochet if you're in the UK, because a slip stitch with the amount of joins was just pulling it a bit. So it's all joined with a single crochet. Look at those ends all woven in there. So I need to get on and do another white one. And then I can possibly get this strip. If I do a white, 2 white, 3 white, and a blue, I can finish this quadrant, and that will be 1/4 of the blanket. I think I might do that. So 3 white and a blue I need to do. That's the plan now. Coming back a second, you remember me earlier on in the video saying I was looking for that square that I did and I couldn't find it? It was in this pile, which means this pile is now out by 1 square, so I've got to do another one. But this was how it looked when you sew the triangles together. Can you see what I mean? So that is the one that I've done by doing the square as an entire square, and this is how it looked when you did 2 triangles and sewed them together. There's a huge difference, isn't there? This is the one that I saved to show you that has somehow worked its way into this pile. I was certain I'd left it in the bag, and now I've got one of these missing because it was including this one. And I won't be including that one. But there's a huge difference, isn't there? It's still not perfectly straight with this, but it's not enough that it's going to put me off. That would have put me off. So yeah, that was why I changed the squares. Right, I've now got that pesky square done again to replace the other one. So what I do, as soon as I've done a square, I weave in the ends, because if I don't, then I'm going to have all those ends to weave in at the end, and I don't want that. But first of all, before I start weaving in the ends, I do put a stitch marker on the right side. So when I come to sew them together, you might have noticed the stitch markers on them. I know which is the right side. These have been crocheted with a magic loop. When you crochet with a magic loop, you must weave that beginning end in, because if you don't, it will unravel. So I've got 2 yarns in the beginning, so I'm just going to knot those together first, and then I'm going to weave in the ends. There's some, it's on my phone screen. It kept looking like I had something on my face, but it's not. It's something on my phone. I think it's a piece of chocolate. I had a Kit Kat bunny rabbit earlier, and I think I've got a piece of chocolate on my phone. I don't think it's anything on my face. I'll know when I come to edit. Right, let me just get these ends woven in. So then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do 2 more of the white squares. And I can't remember how many blue I said now. But then I don't think I'm going to be able to stitch them together today because I need to concentrate on it and make sure I'm stitching the right square in the right place. And by the time it comes to stitching, it's going to be after tea by the time I've done the squares. So I do not want to be then trying to figure out what I'm doing. So I'll probably join them tomorrow. But as you could see, I have done quite a few squares. It looks like I should have had this blanket finished by now. But there are so many squares, and once I decided with these ones I wanted to do them as a full square and not 2 triangles, I stupidly at no point wrote down what I was doing. I find crochet really intuitive, and I find that when you crochet it is quite an intuitive thing. You kind of like, right, yep, that needs to go there. And I don't find crochet patterns hard to read, but when you're first following a crochet pattern, you've got to do it to understand what you're doing. That's how I am with crochet, because I've always just done it rather than started off by following patterns. So I kind of look at it a little bit different. And with the squares, at no point did I write down what I'd done, because that's not how I crochet. So I wanted to get all of these half and half ones done while it was still fresh in my mind, which is why I've gone straight ahead now and got this other one done, because I didn't want to do any of the other squares and then forget what I'd done. Does that make sense to any of you crocheters out there? It's just, I don't know, with crochet I've always kind of just done it intuitively rather than reading a pattern, whereas with knitting I've always read a pattern. I don't quite know if I'm explaining that properly, but anyway, at no point did I write down what I was doing, so I've kind of needed to finish these. And if you asked me how I made these squares, I'd have to make one and show you it at the same time. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't just be able to say, right, you do this. I'd have to do it again to show you. But that is all of the ends woven in that one. So just trim that down. So they are now up to date. So now I'm just gonna, I keep all of my stitch markers in these. These are little goo pots, you know, that you get the pudding in, the goo pudding. And I always save them because they come in so handy. And I've got a row counter, some big stitch markers, loads of the little light bulb stitch markers and little handmade labels, and I keep them all in there along with my needles, and that sits on there. And I've got this little jar full of all the little bits that I snip off cross stitching or crochet or whatever. I keep all those in another one. I just empty it as it gets full. Them little goo jars don't have come in handy. Right, so this is my first white square. What I liked about these is the circular in the middle and then the turn into a square, and I really like that. I don't have a lot of projects that do that. And I tell you what else I really like about doing a granny square project. seeing, this is what I'm talking about, I'm interrupting myself now. This was joined with a magic loop. You must weave this in properly, otherwise it will come undone. Anyway, the other thing I like about a granny square project is seeing all of the granny squares. I just love it when you see them all in a pile. Doesn't that look amazing? I've got them all on the table now, ready to go. I just love it. I love seeing granny squares piled up. One of my favourite things. So just weave this in, weave the other one in, 2 more whites. Or was it 3 more whites? I'll have to check the pattern again. And then a blue. These small ones don't take a lot of time to do. But saying that, I can't just make granny square after granny square. I can do 4 in a row and then that's kind of it. I get a bit bored of it after that. 4 of the little ones in a row, not the big ones. Them big ones take a little bit longer. You know, the big red ones that are on it, they take quite a bit longer. But these little ones do not take very long. Right, that is all woven in. And that is all done. So now I'm just going to go ahead, sit. I'm watching a floss tube. I am watching Just So Sherry and making granny squares at the moment. And it is currently 2 o'clock. So I'm going to crack on. And I'll be back in a bit. Where are the days going? They go nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. Right, I wanted to show you my Secret Grove sal because I did finish it. So I'm going to show you. I'm just looking for the needle. There we go. This is it so far. So it's all up to date with where it needs to be. This and the scissors was clue 6. I think it's clue 6. And that's, isn't it beautiful? It really is. I've no idea what size frame this is. That's not the edge of the fabric. I put it on a really big piece of fabric, so I've got more room than that. I've no idea what size it's going to be. My fabric is actually huge. It's on fabric that is way too big, but that's okay because I'll just reuse it for what's left for something else. But oh, I just love it. The next clue is due out on Friday. Oh, I thought it was this Friday. So on Friday morning, I was so excited. I'm just going to turn you there. I was so excited because I was like, oh, the Secret Grove's out today. I can't wait. And it wasn't. It's next week. So I've put it in my calendar now so I know which Friday it is and I don't get myself all excited again, ready for the Secret Grove, and I get the wrong day. So yeah, part 7's next. There are 10 parts. The Secret Grove sal is Needle Lot Designs, and yeah, I've got so many Needle Lot Designs patterns now. Honestly, it's ridiculous. I saw one because I follow her first Facebook page and she'd released, no, it's an older pattern, I think, but she'd shared a picture in the Facebook, on the Facebook page, and I just immediately fell in love with it. So I bought that one as well. So I've now got 4 Needle Lot Designs patterns, so I think I'm okay for patterns for the rest of the year. I don't need to buy any. I've got plenty to go at. Yeah, so I'm going to be trying to be really good for the rest of the year and not buy any more patterns unless something comes out that I really want to stitch. I don't actually need any new patterns, well, at least till the back end of summer into autumn. I'm sure I've got enough patterns to keep me going. So that is that. You caught up on everything. I haven't done any work on the Pearl Soho. Well, I'm saying I haven't. I've done my 20 minutes a day on it. I wasn't really feeling it this week. It came up for the Wheel of Fun, which was to make something with a My Yarny Corner yarn or your favourite yarn. So it came up for that, and I really didn't feel it. So I just did my basic 20 minutes, and you can't see a great deal of progress. So I don't have that to show you, but I'm just really into the crochet at the moment. So I've done the bare minimum that I needed to do on it, and I've got, you know, a good couple of inches, but you're not going to be able to see the difference because it's all the same stitch pattern, all the same yarn, so you're not going to be able to see a difference. So I'll bring that out and show you when I've got some marked difference on it, or it's finished, one of the two. But you are all up to date with everything that's been happening. I'll show you my new crafty corner. So I've got my little table there. I've got my other thing there. Oops, I'm trying to turn it. My cross stitch boxes are all there. And I am now sitting in Danny's corner because we've turned the whole lounge around, which actually took a little bit of getting used to, but it works much better than it used to do. So yeah, it's a lot cozier now in here. Yeah, so I think that is everything. I'm ending the vlog a little bit early today because we've got shop update tonight, and there's still all the website to sort out, and I don't want to be finishing editing the vlog and trying to get that uploaded while we're also trying to sort the website out. So it's only like 3 o'clock, but I'm ending the vlog early just so I've got chance then to go on and do all the other stuff that we need to do. But thank you for joining me for the first day of vlogs. We will be back tomorrow for day 2. And have a lovely evening, everybody. Whatever you're doing with your weekend, just enjoy it. Just enjoy whatever it is. That's what life is all about. And we will see you tomorrow for day 2. Bye, everybody.